I'm gonna say something that you're not gonna like. The Walking Dead sucks. The Walking Dead has sucked for a very, very long time. I haven't watched the new season update. I did actually watch the season premiere now, and that was boring too. There were literally scenes of them just standing in the sunlight, holding guns, and there'd just be a sun like glaring behind them. And I kid you, that was about 15 minutes of this 48-minute episode. I will never get those 50 minutes back. 50 minutes because it took about 2 minutes for my internet to connect. I don't know what they're doing. They drag out things so much that you start to wonder, is there even gonna be payoff? The season 8 premiere had one moment where it seemed like they could capture Negan or kill him. But the father Gabriel went over to him and he said, "We have to go. It's not about you." What I saw was, hey, this is only the season premiere. We can't get Negan yet. They are gonna drag out this Negan plotline and all-out war until probably the 16th episode. In the comics, all-out war does happen, but they do capture Negan, and there's stuff that happens after it. They don't kill Negan, so you're not gonna lose him from the show. I know Jeffrey Dean Morgan is really popular. I love him, but you're not gonna lose him from the show. You don't have to prolong this Negan plotline of him being on top with the Saviors. They capture him in the comics, and he still lives. He's still alive, even in the comics right now. I actually think it's more interesting what happens after he's captured than what happened before. Season 1 started off very ambitious. Season 1, we have the intrigue of where is Rick's family, and when they meet up with his family, he finds out that his wife has actually been sleeping with Shane. Wait a second, he doesn't find that out till Season 2. See how Season 1 had long-term thoughts in mind, but not too long-term? It was a character-driven show about zombies. No, it was a zombie show about characters. I get confused with this sometimes. The zombies were always supposed to be just a background thing, but that changed. After the initial 6 episodes of the first season, the second season just took this crawl through the farm story. The farm story was about maybe 3 issues, but they decided to stretch it out for about 12 or 13 episodes. 4 times as long as it was in the comics. That's another issue that The Walking Dead has had. Why are you deviating so far from the comics? I understand the comics they're not gonna be like your Bible that you're gonna go by, but come on, man. Honestly, by the time we got midway through Season 2, I was like, man, if that little girl is dead, so be it. After we got midway through Season 2, you start to wonder, why are we on this farm? They wait all the way until the end of Season 2, beginning of Season 3, to get to the prison. Season 3, which is arguably my favorite, picks up the action a lot more. Season 3 is when it all started to get stretched out, because they went from having 12 or 13 episodes to 16 episodes, to when the plot just started being stretched and stretched and stretched out to when until you knew that only the 8th and 16th episodes were going to be the ones that mattered the most. All the ones in between would just be almost like filler, like you're watching anime. And there was also a trend for when the first half of the season would be amazing, and then the last half is this piece of crap that almost feels like you waste your time. And it was every season on up after Season 3. By the beginning of Season 3, everybody's a trained killer randomly. The governor, I will say, he was interesting for at least the first half. We end up meeting Michonne in what is literally about a 2-season crawl towards her being an actual human being. In the beginning, she was just this silent black lady who walked around with a sword, who was difficult. Rick was seeing Lori, who, thank God, she died really early in Season 3. T-Dog. T-Dog. Does anybody remember T-Dog? If you got characters that die and people forget about them, that's not a good thing. That doesn't mean people got over the death. That means nobody cared about that character. As you can see, I'm skimming over these because I'm just telling you why it sucks, not the good parts. By the time we got to the end of season 3, it was time for the showdown. You know, the big prison thing in which, you know, if you read the comics, spoilers, Lori dies in this thing by crushing the baby, and the baby dies. I'm not saying the baby should die, you know? I'm just saying, the comics. We get this lukewarm version of that, and basically a way to preserve the governor to the next season, and he doesn't show up until about halfway through the season. What are we doing? 4th season. That is when we got to the new Walking Dead format where we have episodes that don't have all the characters. Because that's how you do a character-driven show. You take out some of the characters. That was real sarcasm. That's not what you do. The new threat in season 4 was disease. You know, blood all over the mouth. But that got tarnished and was dead right after Glenn all of a sudden didn't die from it. That's when you knew. It was only characters that nobody cared about. Those are the ones that are gonna die. Start having episodes focus on very small amount of characters, and the story, it stopped progressing. It just became this crawl. There was one episode in season 4, in which it was Beth, I think, and Daryl, and they was just in this cabin for the whole episode, the entire episode, and that's about it. Nothing happens. They just bond. That's it. Also, remember, season 4 was the infamous Carol goes insane arc, in which Carol all of a sudden is like this badass character who doesn't mind not only killing people but burning their bodies. It was quite, quite the switch. The worst part of season 3 is when we get to the part where the governor comes back. My God, this could have been 1 episode, but they make it 2 episodes, in which you get this journey of him and Spaghetti Tuesday on his way back to the prison. Midway through season 4, we get that fight we were supposed to get at the end of season 3. But do we want it now? No, really, we really don't. The governor could have never came back in season 4, and I would have just been like, that's cool with me. Midway through season 4, we get to the part where it's Rick and Carl, and they try to tease like Rick's gonna become a zombie. By this time in the series, you know that only people that nobody cares about are gonna be the ones who die. Not important people. I mean, think about it. How many irrelevant characters have died? From T-Dog, do you even remember T-Dog? T-Dog didn't say more than about 5 words for about season 2 and then died in season 3. There was like this trend of like, when somebody's gonna die, all of a sudden they got a lot of lines in the show where they're trying to make this like last minute character development before they die so people can like feel something, but you started to see through it. Tyrese, he died looking at a painting, and just a zombie came behind him and just ate him. Like this was supposed to be seen as some like unpredictable thing. You never know when somebody's gonna die. There was criticism at one point where they would say that supposedly Walking Dead doesn't like black characters and stuff like that. I didn't fully believe that, but evidence is slightly there. In season 3, there was a prisoner who was like this bald black guy, and he was killed by Shane. Mind you, this was season 3. Shane died in season 2. It was like the ghost of Shane killed him, and there was never any mention of him ever again. The ghost of Shane also never came back. I don't understand. Did they have a contract where he was like contractually obligated to 1 more episode, and they were just like, you know what, hey, just Put him in there, make him a ghost. Who cares? Who gives a Remember the nurse? The nurse with the glasses? She died in like season 6 from like an arrow randomly hitting her. I kid you not, I don't remember her name. You don't remember her name. The most important character deaths that happen usually happen probably before season 3. Because after season 3, the people who died, the core characters, it was very few and far between. I guess you could say maybe Beth, that was important. Glenn. Those little girls, did anybody care about them? Remember those 2 little girls? The one who thought that walkers were actual people all of a sudden, despite evidence, obviously, that you've seen them eat people. Remember Carol had a husband? Does anybody remember Carol's husband? Does she ever talk about her husband? No. People who die in the show don't matter. End of season 4, they get captured and they're going to the season 5, we get those cannibals, those people at Terminus who eat people. There is a glimpse of backstory as to why they are like this. There's a point where they're in the same cargo train thing that Rick and them were in. And you see they're being tortured by a group of people. But that's about it. When we were doing these flashback episodes and we were trying to tell these like character-driven stories, that would have been a great episode to just show us. Let us know why the Terminus people are so weird. But instead, they die in like episode 3 or 4. And tell me what else happened in season 5. What else? We found Alexandria. That was cool. Rick's beard grew. That was nice. Okay. Season 6. Season 6. I am struggling my hardest to remember what happened in season 6. Oh, Carl got his eyes shot out. Rick got some pussy. That's about it. Notice how I haven't mentioned people like Daryl. I'm not going to touch on Daryl, who has become this caricature of a character. It's not like a real character now. He just does Daryl things. Crossbow, poncho. Oh yeah, let's not forget the Glenn fake out death. That thing went on for weeks. There were people who thought Glenn was dead, and there were people who knew that he wasn't. I was one of the people who thought he was dead. I had faith in the show that they wouldn't do no like this. They wouldn't pull that. No, there's no way. And they did. They did. Glenn comes back only to die in the beginning of season 7. To get his head beat in by Negan. Negan, the only reason anybody still kind of watches it. Negan is entertaining. I will say that. But if you watch season 7, you could watch the first episode, maybe the middle episode, and the last episode. And I kid you not, you wouldn't have missed anything. There was nothing to miss in season 7. And that's where we're at now in Walking Dead. We're at the point where people only die if it's the first episode, the middle episode, or the finale. And that's a problem, because nobody... It shouldn't be, I want to watch those only because, somebody gonna die. Hopefully this season, with this time jump that's supposed to happen to old man Rick, and hopefully this Negan thing, they find some way to make it more interesting, because him walking around being witty and funny and swinging his baseball bat and saying shit a lot, it's getting old. Let me know how you feel about The Walking Dead. I know some people like it and some people love watching it, mostly because they take it at face value. But let me know how you feel about it. Be sure to like this video. Dislike it if you don't like it. I've never said that before. Comment down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. And most importantly, I don't know. What's most important about this one? This is just me ranting about The Walking Dead. really know what else to. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Peace. Now look at you walking in here looking all pretty and angry and mean and good. I know you didn't get your hair done so you could just sit down and just sit still.
Hey, we trying to have a good time tonight. Let's go, baby. Let's go.